Since you're watching this video, I'm guessing that the title really relates to you. You have untapped potential, and you know it. That's exactly why you clicked on this video. Because you saw something that you thought was interesting, that you thought could help your life. And you're not wrong. This will help your life. And this doesn't just come from me, this comes from every other man that is on self-improvement. And when I say on self-improvement, I don't mean just the kind of person that says, "Oh yeah, I'm on this day of nofap, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well," and then they get back home and then, Jeffrey, you've done it again. You've you've beat your meat, or you've ate that junk food and played those video games, right? That's not the kind of man I'm talking about when it comes to self-improvement. I'm talking about the man that did go through the hard times, but isn't struggling anymore, that fought through the struggle and persevered through it, and now is a real man. So therefore they don't do that sort of stuff anymore. So if you don't know me, which I'm guessing you don't, this is probably your first time watching my videos. My name's Rory. I help people go from the Jeffrey to Adonis transformation, like Hamza. I don't want to steal his mojo, but yeah, that's kind of exactly the thing that I'm doing, and he is the one who inspired me to do it. So I help people from the Jeffrey to Adonis transformation, and I could try and copy him. That's the thing. um, I mean, I'm saying it in a way that does sound like I'm copying him, but I'm not. Obviously, this is my first real face-to-face unfiltered video between me and the person on the other side of the screen. So I don't know my potential. I don't know what's going to happen with these self-improvement videos. And I relate to this title as well. You have untapped potential. Well, you have it. I have it. We all have it. We all make mistakes. Even on the best of days, we all end up indulging in a little thing that maybe we shouldn't have. Maybe we should have spent that time doing something productive. Maybe you had studies to do. Maybe you have some sort of fitness goal and you could have spent that time working out and getting leaner or getting stronger, doing all these great things. So, alright, let's get to the point. Untapped potential. Anyways, like I said, we all have it, and it is pretty much guaranteed that every man will do things that they shouldn't do. And the only perfect man to ever, or not even perfect man, just perfect person to roam the earth was Jesus Christ. And that's pretty obvious. And you don't have to be a very religious person to know it, right? I'm just saying that if Jesus was on the earth, which he was, then that would make him probably the only sinless person. I mean, the only other sinless people would be the ones that died in the womb, or I don't know, maybe like little kids that maybe got murdered or had an accident and died. You know, technically that's sinless because they're children and they haven't sinned yet. But when I say sinless, I mean full man or full woman. You know, someone who's actually lived their, some of their days, right? People who actually know who they are and aren't just little children doing whatever happens, right? So being sinless, definitely something I want to do, and is something that you people should aspire to. And I know it's hard. You have to make sacrifices. You have to do all these things. You have to quit the porn. You have to quit the video games. And I know video games isn't a sin, but it wastes so much of your time. You have to quit the gluttony, eating all that junk food. that you know isn't good for you. You have to quit. You have to quit pretty much everything that's comfortable. You have to go out of your comfort zone. And that's what self-improvement is about. It's about taking this version of yourself that is just down here, right? And working it up, getting better and better, leveling it up like a video game. That's what it's about. And eventually you'll go from here all the way up and you won't even realize it. Because the grind is something that feels hard and long in the moment. But in the long run, it'll feel very quick. And then sin is the opposite. Or, the bad habits, or what we like to call instant gratification. Those things are quite the opposite. They feel very short and good while you're doing them, but then they leave you in a place of just long suffering and depression, anxiety, all these things that people don't want, all these things that people complain about. So with untapped potential, of course it takes risks, and a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, just aren't ready to make that step, right? And there are many people who've made that step already, or they're very close to making that step. There are people in different stages of life, but the ones I'm looking for, generally, I'm not just looking for the people that are already pretty high up and they just want that bit of reassurance. I'm talking about the people that are at the lowest of the lows, and I was one of them. I was playing video games at least 6, 8, 10 hours a day, depending on the day. I mean, on school days when I should have been studying, I would get home and I would play for many hours. Probably like 4, no, not even 4, because I remember I would stay up all the way till midnight sometimes. So it was probably more like 6 hours. Just 6 hours, 6, 8, 10. Oh, it blew my mind. And then in the holidays, after the school term is finished, after all the tests are handed in, after everything, should be alright, the real sort of time where you should be working on yourself is on the weekends and away from school. The holidays. Because you get so much time during that. You should be able to do what you want in the holidays and on the weekends and in all those free times. Those days where you have what feels like endless hours. Yet most people waste that time. And it is a shame. It is a massive shame when I do it, and same when all these other people do it. But the difference is, I'm aware of it, these people aren't. And there are people in between. Like I said, there are people who are half aware, and I'm trying to get those people who are half aware, those ones that are interested in self-improvement, and they know that they can do better. And usually those sort of people are the ones that watch self-improvement videos. Because most of the people on self-improvement don't even watch many self-improvement videos because they're spending so much time doing self-improvement, doing the actual thing rather than just watching a video and getting that dopamine in your brain that makes you go cuckoo crazy sometimes. So I am looking for the people that aren't really low to the point where they're kind of unsavable, where it's almost impossible to get them out of their dirty deeds, right? Out of their instant gratification. I'm not looking for those people, and neither am I looking for the people way up here who don't even need the videos anymore. I'm looking for the people who waste heaps of time on YouTube, Instagram, all these things anyways. So they might as well be watching self-improvement videos because that's better than watching all this other crap. It doesn't even make sense. Like, small face with a big bang, like freaking TikToks. What? Anyways, to get back on track, I'm saying if you're watching this video, then odds are you need it. And I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And I'm here to talk about untapped potential. And not only am I going to talk to you about the things that you already partly know, that, you're a bit of a loser, you're a bit of a coward, you're a bit lazy, you're a bit slack. I'm not going to just put you down even further. While some people do that, I'm not going to do it. I'm saying that there is hope. And although you do have that untapped potential, you can find it. And not only find it, but keep it close to you. And all you have to do is just start your journey. Start your self-improvement journey. And when I say self-improvement, I don't mean any of this stupid stuff, right? I don't mean any of this half self-improvement stuff where people are just, doing a little bit of hard work and then they get home and they indulge in their high dopamine addictions once again. I mean full commitment. Full commitment. And you don't have to fully commit straight away. That's fine. That is completely fine. I mean, you have to build it up. It's progressive overload. That's what it is. But eventually you need to get to a point where you are giving it your all. You are giving it your all, and honestly, that's when it becomes worth it. Because it's never going to be worth it, and you'll never value these great things if you're not doing them enough. Because I used to do this, right? I used to do a little bit of hard work, maybe at school, maybe just hitting a little bit of a workout, doing these little things, right, that are good, but the bad would far outweigh the good. And that's because I would do that good, I would do those delayed gratification activities and things, and then I would get home and I was like a different person. I was just this, I wasn't this good person anymore who wanted to get to their potential, who wanted to work hard and earn every single thing, right? I would turn into this manipulated person who really, really did try, like mentally, just having a mental war, trying not to do these horrible things, but I did them anyways. And that's all because I was fighting them. The thing about self-improvement is, yeah, sure, some things you do fight. You do have to fight your brain sometimes when you know that you need to go out and work out. But there are also other things like lust, like those sexual feelings and urges that you can't fight. You need to run from them. You need to run from them because the more that you think about it, especially with no fat, the more that you will do it, right? That's what it's like with these things like masturbation, like jacking off, right? That's exactly what it's like. You need to have that awareness where you're not trying to have this mental warfare with Satan, but you're just running from it, and mentally you're just like, oh, okay, well, I know that if I keep lousing around and being lazy any longer, then I'm just gonna fall into more of this sin, more of these bad instant gratification habits, right? So you have to have that consciousness, right? You have to have that awareness to be like, oh, okay, well, I know that if I keep doing this and If I keep just sitting down and not doing anything and eating my Doritos, it's only going to lead to worse things. And that's when you decide to do it. Do the good activities. That's when you decide to really put yourself out there and get out of your comfort zone. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. All this untapped potential. Um, don't mind me, the screen just turned off for some reason. But all this untapped potential, the reason why you're not getting into it, the reason why you're not finding and achieving that potential isn't because of some person, and it isn't because of like luck, like, oh no, my genetics, blah 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 blah. That's not what potential's about. Potential is not about other people, but it's about yourself. It's about being the best version of yourself that you can be. And I know that sounds a bit cringe because everybody says that, oh, be the best version of yourself. And yeah, a lot of those people that say that, they aren't the best versions of themselves. I've seen it firsthand. A lot of people on Instagram, and they say all these amazing things, and then behind the scenes they're these horrible people, right? Who don't stick to their word. And I used to be like that back when I was watching heaps of porn and playing heaps of video games, and eating heaps of junk food, doing all these things. Back then, when I was doing that, I I would lose myself. I would lose myself. I would lose my mind because I was trying too hard to fight it. So with this untapped potential, it sucked. It definitely sucked for me. I knew I had it. I knew I had this crazy amount of potential just stashed away, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I could not find it. It felt close to impossible. It was definitely possible, but it felt close to impossible because I was so stuck in the addictive instant gratification things that when I tried to step back from it, I struggled a lot. I struggled a lot. And that's when I found out about Hamza and all these other people. And, well, first it was this guy called Ziz. Don't know if you have heard of him, but he's this Australian bodybuilder guy, and I'm Australian too, if you can't tell. Um, Australian bodybuilder guy, yeah, kind of took steroids, but um, he gave me that boost of confidence because he was like, "Don't care about what these other people say. Do what you do, and do what you want to do, and build that physique that you want, and do what you want." And sure, he was not a perfect man. He would go out to the raves and the clubs and party, but the thing that I took from his words, the thing that I took from him and used to help me with this journey, with this sucky journey, was the confidence. So I got the confidence from Ziz. I was like, okay, I got to get out there and not care if I get a little bit embarrassed, if it's a little bit embarrassing, or stuff like that. Just got to get out there. First it was that. Then I found out about Hamza. Well, before I found out about Hamza, not long ago, I started NoFap, and that sucked. That was not working well for me. Then I found out about Hamza. Then I started self-improvement. I started gratitude journaling. That's a very underrated thing, gratitude journaling. And now I'm on day 301 of it, doing pretty good. Day 301 of gratitude journaling, and it was exactly the day that I started gratitude journaling that I started um that I actually started working on myself a lot, working out. And yeah, there were these like horrible home workouts, and they sucked. I mean, first of all, it sucked because I didn't even know what I was doing and I had to make a routine. Second of all, it sucked because I don't really have a place in my house. It's not even a house, it's a unit. I don't even have a place in my unit to work out really. So I was literally just doing it in the bathroom. Literally. I had these weird little weights, the cheap weights you can get from like the really cheap stores, and they're not even made from iron or anything. I don't know. The stuff that people the stuff that old ladies probably use for Zumba and Pilates and all that stuff. Those weird weights, I was using them, and um they felt a lot heavier at the time because that was before I started working out, and I was very weak. Started working out. I started working out, and then I found out about all this other stuff. I was watching Hamza's videos about porn and about being the tribe leader, all these things that I needed, and it helped me a lot. And then after that, my faith got better. I was separating myself from my faith, my Christian faith. And finally, I want to partly thank Hamza for this. It came back. My faith came back. And more than ever before. I have the most faith that I do now. I've started reading my Bible. Maybe not much. I don't read it much. But I've been reading it more. Because I never used to read it. I'm going to church now every Sunday. Which I did do, but difference is back then I didn't feel very present at church. Now I feel very present at church, and I'm sharing my testimonies, and I'm doing all these things. So I want to thank Hamza for that. Like I said, originally it was Ziz that kind of gave me the confidence, and then I found out about Hamza, and with NoFap, right? With NoFap, I was struggling because I was thinking about it, and then that's when I found out about Hamza, and his takes on NoFap. That's when he was talking about semen retention, where you don't count the days, right? You don't count the days, but you just count how many times you do it in the month. So rather than just having these streaks, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, you're just kind of just tallying how many times you do that in the week or the month or whatever. And then that helped me more. But then that still wasn't enough. That still wasn't enough. So I just stopped thinking about it in general. And then that's when it really helped me because I wasn't thinking about it at all. I was just going about my day, and it made me feel a little bit less guilty just not thinking about it so much. Less I definitely felt less dirty not thinking about it as much, and that benefited me. That definitely benefited me. I went from being this little soy boy counting the days of how long I go without busting a nut to eventually just not caring about it at all and just knowing that it's a dumb thing to do. It that's just true. It's a dumb thing to do. Beating your meat, whacking your stick. It's a dumb thing to do. It doesn't benefit you in any way, but it helps with prostate cancer. No. No. It doesn't. And even if it does, well, I don't know. I'm not a biologist or whatever you need to be for that, but I'm just saying, who cares about prostate cancer? You're probably not going to get it in your lifetime. I'm saying, I'm saying, who freaking cares? You're beating your meat and it's disgusting. And you're out here trying to tell me that it's a good thing. Anyways, to end this, because I know it's been going for a pretty long time, and props to you. Props to you for having the patience. It's probably the first time you've actually had patience like that before. Anyways, you have untapped potential. You need to reach it. And if my videos or this video of mine isn't working for you, then I suggest you go to Hamza's videos because he posts some good stuff and he says it in a way that I definitely aspire to be like. And I know I'll get to that point and I might end up even getting that sort of fame. But for now, I'm just some kid posting his very first self-improvement video inspired by this great guy. And yeah, gotta end the video. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to what I've had to say. And like my good friend Hamza would say, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.